Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairy Muppet, and we are getting into the second semi-final of the ASUS ROG Summer Tournament for 2013. And down the bottom left side of the map, it is going to be our blue Zerg player, HyuN. And up the top right side of the map, it is going to be our red Protoss player, San. Now, this is going to be another interesting matchup because, I mean, HyuN beat Stardust in the quarterfinals, so his ZVP is very, very good. And San beat Don Regu in his quarterfinals, so his PVZ is very, very good. So both players having knocked off other players of the same race just in the quarterfinals, just before. So it's going to be really, really awesome to see who pulls this out. And I don't know, man. I mean, HyuN's so strong, but I feel like San is sort of in the same boat as Alicia was, I suppose we could say, because Alicia had an awesome build, awesome build, knew how to use it, and the build was just absolutely phenomenal. But when he got taken outside of his comfort zone, when crazy stuff started happening, that's when he started losing games to Tasia in the semi-final, and that's how he eventually got knocked out, because Tasia was doing all sorts of crazy stuff, like a double expand to the 4-minute mark, absolutely nuts. And I feel like San's in a little bit of the same sort of thing. Now we'll talk about his games against Don Regu for a sec. The first game, he repelled a bunch of Lings swarming into his base nice and early, and he just bounced off with a bunch of gateways, won that. And that's fair enough. The second and third games, he won with Colossus/VR tech. So Colossus and Void Rays. Now, of course, the Zerg counter for Colossus is Corruptors. And yeah, I mean, San just got out a bunch of Void Rays as well, which is genius strategy, of course, absolute genius. Void Ray shredded the Corruptors, the Colossus shredded absolutely everything else. And yeah, I mean, it was kind of like what Alicia was doing to Happy and Tasia. It was just one of those strategies that Don Regu just couldn't really get around, couldn't really find a way around that awesome combination of units, and that let San out to a victory. But I do not know, man, because he got into the semi-final mainly on the strength of that strategy and on some really he's good, right? He's very good, and he can do that strategy against Zerg, and it's awesome. The strategy is awesome. Whether or not he is an awesome player, I don't know whether we've yet determined it, because when you've got an awesome strategy, that strategy sort of helps you. It sort of gives you that advantage, because the unit composition is doing all the work for you. So even if you don't quite have as good macro as the other player, or you don't quite have as good a micro as the other player, you're probably still going to get ahead just because you got a better composition. And I am not saying for any fraction of a second that San is not capable of those feats of micro or macro. It's just that because he was using that strategy against Don Regu, he didn't need to. Yeah, I don't think he needed to. He didn't really need to get down into the guts of really close battles or something like that, because he had such an awesome strategy. He just had to execute it, and he executed it properly, and it just worked for him. Now the question is, if HyuN starts to do some crazy stuff, if he doesn't just go for Roach Hydra Corruptors, what is San going to be able to do about it? Because we know Roach Hydra Colossus, that big late game tech, we know he knows how to deal with it. The question is, can he deal with crazy shit as well? Can he deal with crazy stuff going on? And this is really nice from San, man. Just 4 Zealots and a Mothership Core. It's not much, but right now it is seriously threatening this third base. Really hardcore, and HyuN trying to save it. He really wants to save it, but I don't think he can. There's enough Zealots. The Lings are going to take out the pylon, which is really nice. The Zealots are so slow they cannot attack the hatchery and protect the pylon at the same time, and now you're just going to be scaring these guys off. The zealots could probably attack, but I don't know. I mean, if they get a complete surround, they'll probably get taken out, and meanwhile this base is going to get owned. I don't know, maybe the zealots should have gone in a little bit earlier. As soon as they got 7 straight away, maybe they should have just hit the hatchery, and if the lings try and surround them, just turn around and start attacking the lings. Because the thing is, when you're right next to the hatchery, you can't get a full 360 surround on the zealots anyway, because they're hugging the hatchery. So, but regardless, HyuN has gotten this base down, and I think he transfused that a little bit. So yeah, that should be fine. We do have a roach warren coming down for HyuN. For Sand, looks like most of his zealots have gone home, just leaving this one, and this guy is going to die, but he's in a great position to kill at least 2 lings there. And yeah, not too much going on for Sand. No robotics facility, no Twilight Council, just going for pretty standard stuff. Actually, damn, that is a lot of gateways. That is going to be 6 gate off 2 base, and it's just short of the awesome 7 gate, but 6 gate is still going to be able to put a ton of pressure onto HyuN. And HyuN, he's just now got ling speed, I think. And look at this beautiful pylon placement back there, just to keep this guy out. He knew he was leaving himself open, but he still wanted to move out his forces. So getting the pylon there, really, really great, because it means he doesn't have to move his army back. He can keep moving it forward, but his main base is protected. So really, really nice. And 100 minerals that he's going to have to kill later. I'd say it's probably worth it. And here we go, bunch of lings around here, but I feel like he's probably got enough zealots, and he can force field all over the place to deal with that. But the roach numbers are going to increase, and they're going to increase quite a lot, and I don't think he's really teched up to deal with roaches at the moment. He needs either a lot more stalkers, or he needs immortals, and force fields trapping these roaches, man. Brilliant force fields, but reinforcements, man. The zealots are in all the wrong places to try and stop these lings from coming in. There's so many lings. The roaches almost all die, and yeah, it looks like Sand doing a really, really great job here at mopping this up. He's managed to get a ton of stalkers out. There's a very, very high strength of the 6 gate, and just pushing in, doing a whole bunch of stuff. And HyuN plainly not expecting this much pressure this early in the game. It's not quite a 7 gate, but it's basically a 7 gate, just with 6 gates instead. And yeah, that's really, really heavy pressure. And of course, just taking into a ton of stalkers. He's trying to get the lings out, but just a couple of zealot reinforcements, as well as another stalker. And it looks like Sand is going for the win here. Or maybe he's going for a 3rd base, but going for the 3rd base. Is he going to be getting his own 3rd base out at the same time, or is he just going to try and finish it off here? I feel like he's just going to finish it off here. He does not have enough minerals left to go for a 3rd base. But I mean, why would you bother? Look how, actually, he's not stupidly far ahead, man. Where is all this army for HyuN? He's only 17 behind on the army supply, 13 behind. Where is all this stuff he's building? There it is. But force field's cutting off these guys at the back, and yeah, look at this, man. It's just not good. The roaches cannot back up. The zealots are right in their face, and Sand just doing so good, man. He's got double the army supply right now. I feel like it's got to be at least double. Yeah, look at that. That's freaking awesome. And it's moving in, doing a great job. HyuN giving the GG right there. And really, really, really nice job there from Sand. And of course, the standard Zerg play when the Protoss fast expands is to get a fast 3rd. But when you get a fast third, it's a little bit hard to defend it sometimes. It depends what you do, and I feel like HyuN wasn't really going for roaches really, really fast. He had quite a lot of lings, and he was using them for a bit of pressure, and that was ultimately his downfall, because he needed to get the roaches out a lot quicker, and having so many lings sort of slowed him down. So if he had built a bare minimum of lings and then gone straight into roaches, I feel like he could have done a lot better here and held off a lot more. But of course, I don't think he was expecting this much, man. And honestly, these zealots coming in here, these 7 zealots, forced a large amount of lings to be produced. He really had no choice there, and that was definitely not a good position for HyuN to be in. I mean, having to build lings to defend against zealots, man, it's just awful. If he had his roach warren up, He could have knocked these guys out with 3 or 4 roaches probably. He could have knocked them away, and then he could have gotten the roach tech a lot bigger, a lot huger, a lot faster, and I feel like he would have been in a lot better position here. Although no doubt if those zealots had gotten knocked away by roaches instead of lings, then Sand would have had a couple of immortals marching across the map with this main army, so he may still have lost. But yeah, really, really awesome stuff from both players, and Sand moving in to a very, very quick 1-0 lead in this series of tournaments. We haven't seen his late game Void Ray Colossus play yet, but so far he's still making it work, still making it happen, and just really, really solid play. 7 zealots hitting the 3rd base. You're not really expecting it. He had to expend a lot of lings, and then that set him up to get just absolutely owned by this army coming in because he had too many lings. So there we go. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. This has been HyuN Muppet. I'll catch you guys in game number 2. Stay tuned for that.